Charlie, forward, the brothers all, forward, up and rally.
Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War 2 with this Scottish campaign. It's the winter of 1708, and we're about to strike forth against our enemies. So, we've been able to stabilize the two conquered provinces, and I've actually been able to march up the Sepoy army. Actually, I didn't march it through the jungle, I used my navy to launch it here. So it's now within striking distance of Cuttack, if that's how you pronounce it. So we'll be able to strike there. But I've also have an other opportunity. But before we go ahead and talk about that, we have two new member units. Or actually one new and one name change. So I've recruited 8 units of Irish line infantry. And we've got then... Oh, did I forget to... I forgot to rename him. Or I didn't save. Right, I'll have to do that then. And we're back after me checking the names. So, one name change. Irish Freedom Fighters. Jipilou's cuirassiers are turning into Irish infantry called Irish Freedom Fighters. And then we have a new member who also requested an Irish infantry. James Graham's Own, they are called. And they're on the way to India. With that, let's go ahead and head over to North America. So there's an opportunity which I've spotted. So I was looking to move this army from Jamaica and attack other pirates, where I noticed that this pirate army is, I mean, it's broken down, so it's probably been in a battle, and it's actually been, it's moved away from its base. So most likely they've lost a battle, and this area has not been taken over, so I'm thinking that I'm going to go straight to the port, and we're going to go ahead and capture this place. But first I'm just going to go ahead and sail up here to go ahead and take a look at what we're dealing with. I'm also bringing my spy with me. Probably should launch him to the mainland here. I'm interested to see how... Oh, look at that. There's nothing guarding the... Unfortunately, the port is blocked by the 13 colonies, unfortunately. I was hoping I'd be able to use that and march directly and seize this. Also, I want to deliver the spy onto the mainland because I'm interested to see how the war between France and the 13 colonies are going, because I'm focusing on India right now. But I kind of want North America to be split as well, because I have a few regions that I need to capture here for my victory conditions, namely Quebec, Northern France, New France, not Northern France. Well, I guess it is north of France, in a way. I think Montreal is included in that perhaps as well, or is it just... It's just New France, but... If I'll have to take that, I'll probably have to take the rest of it. And I would probably want to take it while the French and the remnants of the British are still fighting each other, rather than having to go in and attack a completely French-controlled USA, basically. Also, for some reason, we need, like, I think Georgia and Florida. Anyways, half the plan worked, so we're gonna go and land the troops here. Why is it lagging so bad? Stuttering. The good thing about this, though, is since my navy is here, it covers all the really highlighted green, actually covers all the crossing points. So this army cannot cross back to go ahead and protect this area, which is good. Also, as you might have been able to tell, I've been able to ferry 2 units of Highland warriors to come back into this army, as they were lost in a previous battle. So now the army is at full strength, 20 units, although we can fill armies up to 40. However, so far I have yet to see any army at full strength at 40. This one is 22, but that ain't much. Right, so we'll be able to strike the pirates and take Nassau, Bahamas, which is great. What are they? They are doing coffee. What is coffee? I'm still surprised, still very surprised about the price of spices. You would think spices would be more important, although I do think that perhaps in Scottish cuisine there aren't a lot of spices. Perhaps. Traditional Scottish, that is. I'm sure there's some tikka masala or whatever. We'll probably get a lot of that now that we are conquering India. Anyways, with that, we're gonna attack Cuttack. And we're gonna take a look at what we got here. So here we're outnumbered by about 1,000 men. So Finlay MacGregor deploys an army of 3,450 men, while he's facing an enemy army of 4,472. So roughly exactly 1,000 men more. Now I'm sure they're gonna dig in the mortars just the same. So I think it'll be very similar to the Bengal battle, where we sort of just outmaneuvered the mortars and attacked from the flank. However, this time around, there's a lot more enemies. A lot more. But with that said, let's go ahead. If the Sepoy army can win yet another battle for the glory of Scotland. And here's the battlefield. I have deployed off to the side, hoping then to avoid the mortars. Once again, the enemy, I imagine, most likely have deployed behind this town. However, my idea is to come marching, sweeping around. Their mortars dug in, facing that way, will not have a chance to fire at us. And then I'll be able to attack down through this line, where as they move to face me, a large part of their army is probably going to end up within the town, and that's going to make it difficult for them to counter my attack. With that said, let's go ahead and start the battle. Right, so they didn't deploy as close to the town as I thought. The important thing though is the mortars. The mortars aren't actually dug in, but I might still be able to bypass them, won't I? Right. There's a lot of marching to be done, so we better get started. I've just come into position for battle, and for some reason the Mughal army is completely just... I don't know where they're going actually, but it's clearly high time to start the battle by opening fire on the enemy. I'm not... It seems like they're leaving the cannon behind and they're actually leaving the high ground to go down here, which I'm not entirely sure why they're doing. One thing that has been happening as we moved forward is that this unit came under constant mortar fire, and it ended up losing about 60 men. I think these guys are about to go against my cavalry, which I think is a little bit too soon. I don't know what these guys are doing. Well, you know what? If they want to come up here and get a fistful of canister, that's fine by me. You need to hold fire and wait for my command, and so we should have the entire line. That was the awkward way of doing it. Right, the canisters are ready, but as you can see, this is not a great position for the artillery, so the enemy needs to come really close before I can unleash the canister here. Also, I wanted to kind of lead the attack with the hand mortar elephants and like really blast the enemy to pieces. Okay, this is actually too early. So I'm gonna withdraw the Sepoy unit again, hoping to get these guys to come closer. Looks like there's gonna be a pretty good hit here. So far, I've only been losing men. We haven't really been able to inflict anything. That is hopefully going to change though. Right now it's... I don't think... We'll have to fire canister because right now the fire is continuously going at there. Oh, we do reach from here? I want both the elephant units right there. I don't know if that hit anything. Let's have the Sepoys come closer and start shooting at these guys. Up the flank, and then the cavalry can come in. I want to shoot my elephants towards that bit right there. And then I think the rest of my troops here should actually come forward into line. That one is advancing rapidly. I think once we see the fighting coming here, actually what you should do is move around and then charge these guys in the back. While you should weaken this unit before this guy charges in. Right, I want the elephants to fire straight forward, right down the center, at the mortars. What are you doing? The elephants are a little bit awkward in the way they move around. But there we go. Fire the hand mortars. They're about to, I think they're about to shoot us. No. They're being weird about it. These guys being weird about it as well. Oh, they're I don't know where they're going. We'll go charge though. The great target that I was looking at earlier doesn't exist any longer. Fire at the bloody mortars, destroy them. Oh. Or kill a few. Right, so all the units on this side can fire at will. And the ones that has the elephants in front should not fire at will. Right, the lancers hit their targets. And they are performing very well. But I don't know what this sort of strategy is, where they're all moving that way. Because they're just giving up everything. Unfortunately, too many of... Oh, did I just... Gonna shot my own unit in the back there. Move back, and then what I want is I want 3 units to cover that ridge and fire down, and then we'll call back the lancers on that. These 2 lancers, let's move them up on the hill here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll put 3 units over here. Oh, point blank range. I think the enemy shot did a lot better than ours, and is continuously doing a lot better than we are. We better counterattack and then envelop the unit. Can I get shot that way into that mess? Oh, didn't I order you lancers to screw off? Can you get up to the fence line here? Okay, there's a lot of enemies coming through here. Not entirely sure if the elephants... Oh, we lost one unit. Right, into line, and then lances will come around. Oh, the elephants got stuck in battle, and the other elephant decided to fire into all of that, which unnerved the elephants. Oh, they're back, the bastards. Right, charge them in full. And then get rid of those. And you'll come through here. Oh, the elephants are just trampling down all the enemies up front. This side needs to be covered though. But the enemy's about to march up and shoot point blank range. Should have perhaps deployed all the lances to this side. Now the battle is all over the place. Let's go ahead and join in with a charge. That elephant unit is just charging forwards. Almost sounded like they were firing on the move. Right, this lancer is kind of spent and this one's about to break. Let's order that one to move away. I do have the high ground here, but clearly that is not enough. Oh, the elephants are charging back into our own ranks. Right, can I get you to set up over there, perhaps? And the battle quickly devolves into quite the mess. Oh, the tiniest units, charge them in the back. Oh, I've got a unit here. Why haven't I... Can I get him up here? The area is too tight for him to get. Move behind there, and then perhaps we'll double the units in charge. Lancers, get over here. Concentrate those lancers on that side. Looks like we're winning the melee fight over there. I want to see if the elephants weren't such a fidgety unit. I could have really crushed the enemy. I'm gonna order these two lancers to back off and let the two infantry units. Oh, now it looks like he's kinda setting up. However, this unit is not looking too good. And it just broke, and that leads to the one next to it breaking as well. Let's see if we can't get the lancers through here. Right, we beat that unit. Have you fired yet? Can I get one unit facing that way and one unit facing that way? And the bloody elephants fire. I can hear something else firing. Oh, it's the mortar. The mortar is turned this way. Okay, so you just broke. However, that's only 120 men, so I should be able to charge that down. And as units rally, they can start up over here. Right, you are about to get hammer and anvil. Did this elephant fire? I think he did. I'm gonna move the lances around. Even though I had the high ground, we're not doing particularly well there. And now we're getting fired upon. But I think we can break these. Oh, these guys are very heavily armored. However, I have to stick out the fight because now we're about to break, and if I order my men to retreat, we will surely break. We've been shooting back and forth at each other here for quite a while, and now the flank is about to be broken by the enemy. Right, organize the 2 line infantry on the road. And then actually 3 line infantry. And then 1 lancer. You know what? Let's get the lancers around here. Get rid of all this crap. Okay, both my lancers were broken. However, they broke that one heavily armored unit as well. See if we can break all of this. We're about to get shot in the flank there, and you got snatched on to these musketeers. That should probably be an easy charge. You will advance through there. Okay, the lancers are rallying. Very heavy fighting. Okay, the 2 lancers coming through. Get rid of that. The hill holds, but it's been not been going too well. There's some archers out there. The cannons haven't really been firing at anything. So let's have them fire on that. If they can. Right, the Lancers dealt with that unit. Continue to chase some of these units down. Looks like we've got it. We've got the archer unit out there. And then we have 1 unit coming up here that we should move to deal with. Actually, we can stop and turn these guys around. The Lancers out there. And then these 2 will leave the hill. Okay, something's rallied over here. Deal with that. It's a melee unit. Perhaps I should hold fire until they're closer. Alright, they're readying themselves. And then come the Lancers and the counter charge. I should see them off the field, and then all of that will be launched against that. Hopefully we haven't lost his 2 units a second time, but it kind of looks like that could be the thing. The cannons have yet to secure a single hit on that unit. But as we can see, the battle was won, and we stand victorious. However, at a very high cost. I think perhaps this is probably the one that we've lost the most men in. And my elephants were devastated. What kind of pose is that? There's quite a few of them. They all do the same thing. Here I am laughing at dead people. Right. The battle is won. Let's go ahead and take a look at the statistics, which I'm sure is awful. Well, would you look at that? I only lost 1,300 men, close to 1,400 men, and only one unit was completely destroyed. Unfortunately, there was an elephant unit that was completely destroyed. It is a finicky unit that needs a lot of time to prepare, but once it's ready, it can deal a lot of damage. Highest killers goes to the Lancers, no surprise there, and we have one Sepoy unit. 158 men remaining, that ends up in 4th place. Let's see, 158. So that's that one right there. But there's no named units in this army, so why bother? Right, we took this area. The difficult thing though is that it's a newly conquered area with a weak army, and the enemy is right across, and there's quite a few of them. If they were to combine their forces, there would be a lot of them. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at what's going on here. Since I'm secured the entire coastline here, I would not actually mind suing for peace with the Mughal Empire. However, we are steadily gaining on them, so why bother? We can wait a little bit longer, I feel, before we sign peace. There's a lot of villages in this province that could be built out, so it would be great if we could focus on that. Right, with that, there's nothing more I can do this turn, so let's go and end turn, see what our enemies come up with, and see if I cannot capture Nassau as well. So I gain 2 territories this turn as well. Enemy raid. So the enemies crossed in, going to attack here, which is not great. However, it's not that strong of a force they're sending forwards here, although a pretty good general. Meanwhile, they are moving into this province, which I don't like, because I think they're going to try and devastate it. This province holds fine, so I should actually march out and see about meeting these guys. A large part of why this province holds is because of the entertainment, and a lot of it comes from this theater right here. So if that is burnt down, it could mean that I have a lot harder time controlling the province. Right now I can actually reinforce units that are there, so I'm gonna send forwards the dragoons to set up there. So if he goes to burn the theater, he'll have to face the dragoons, and they will come in as reinforcements. We also have a lot of wetlands have been built out in the Bengal region. Villages are not growing though. We're hoping that is going to change. A lot of it is devastation due to enemy armies marching in. And also, Portsmouth, whatever, the port in England. Why was that so hard? How does he go from these like full riggers, sort of 1600s galloons ships, to me now being able to recruit 90 gun ships of the line? It actually says 86 here. What does this say? False advertising. You sold me a ship with 90 guns, there's only 86. I'm missing 4 guns. Where are they? We should probably get a few of these, because I would very much rule the waves with anything like this. I did note their upkeep is quite high, about close to 1,000 per ship. 54 gun ship has, let's see, the current ships I have has a firepower of 243 and a 54 one. It doesn't actually have that much more firepower according to this, but it does have a lot more guns. It's quite a step up to the 74 gun ship. Let's have ourselves 2 of these ships. Actually, make it 3. 3 74 gun ships. They'll be put to sea. We'll have the greatest navy ever seen. Now we have a lot of troops here. They should actually also, I think they should also be sent to India. I was gonna send them to North America, but I figure they might do better in India. I mean, we're dealing with the pirates and stuff, but it's not like a huge concern to secure all those small islands. Right, and finally, the Irish are off to India. Wonderful. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at those pirates. What a sidestep. I sidestep these pirate bastards. They refuse to surrender. I feel like an out-assault could be quite costly. Let's go ahead and have our second battle then. And I'll destroy this army though. This army has more cavalry than the army no, it's the Sepoy army that carries 2 demi-cannons. The regular army carries only 1. Let's go ahead and smite these pirate bastards. I have twice their numbers. This should be a walk in the park. And the battle is off. We've got the Covenant Dragoons riding forth and trading fire with the enemy. However, they are quickly able to return fire, and my Dragoons are forced to retreat in disgrace with high losses. While we only managed to shoot 10 peasants, we lost 27 troopers due to that. So it looked good to start off with, but it didn't end up that well. Right, so they were sitting right there, but they started marching this way, so I'm gonna stop the army right here and reform in the face of the enemy. I was gonna move the cuirassiers around and strike the enemy from the back, but there's no point now, so you should turn to face this way. So the pirates are slowly marching in towards my line. Actually, the way the area here is set up is not actually super well sighted for my army. I'm gonna order them to retreat and line up here. Also because I noticed cannon shots were landing here. So I think if we sit here, the cannon can still fire above us and do pretty good damage. I'm thinking also we should probably hold the cavalry back. Oh, the general there should probably speed up to the rear of the army and not hanging around back here, ready to get shot to pieces. The cannons actually hit quite a few times on these pirates, so they're gonna attack the right side, and it's just gonna be those 2 seemingly. So if I'm able to pull up the dragoons, we could be able to fire on these guys from multiple angles. Not that I think they're going to charge, but we might as well go into pike wall here in preparation as the enemy moves closer. Let's see. I kinda think they're gonna stop right in front and then fire off their pistols. No, they charged headlong into the pike wall. Right, here comes the dragoons trying to make up for the last fight. Oh, the garrison militia is moving straight into the cuirassiers. Let's see. They fire pistols before they charge. We lost a lot. Probably not worth it in hindsight. Let's have the Covenant Dragoons retire. And then re-establish order in the army. The cuirassiers struck their targets, however, even without bayonets, the enemy is holding strong against my cuirassiers. Well, they're holding strong for now. We do not know for how long though. Yeah, I was about to make sure that the cannon didn't fire on any of those two units. It didn't, so I'm fine. I'll have the dragoons ride up, hold the line. Scottish pirates? They're grenadiers. It's one thing to fight pirates. It's another that there are Scottish pirates about. Traitors! So many traitors. They're running. These dogs are running. Time to order the cannon to hold fire. No point in shooting our own men. And the entire army will be ordered to advance. The pirates continue to run here, and the Covenant Dragoons slowly crushing them. While... Why I ordered you to attack here? Why have you been running all over the place, everywhere, but aid the second cuirassier unit? Enemy general was killed. I didn't even notice he was partaking in the battle. There we go. Victory. Went fast enough. 10 minutes. And the island is secure. Well, this island secure. There is, of course, one island with 22 pirate units on. His results of that battle against Jörgen Barton. Jörgen Barton. It's an odd name. Anyways, we deployed 3,400 men against their 1,400. We lost only 140 men against they who lost their entire force. We killed 10 of our own men somehow. Scottish Cuirassiers killed the most, so it's all down to the cavalry chasing the enemy down. But then also the pike wall killed 115. It looked like the pirates were actually doing some significant damage, but now looking at the losses here, only 37 men were lost, while they killed 115. You would imagine, though, that pirates with, you know, basically a t-shirt on and a sword and a cutlass would probably not do too well against an organized pike line. But then again, I guess they're pirates, and you know, the pirates are cool. The Bahamas is now ours. This is not going to be a military colony, so we're going to tear that down. We're going to start building up the road. Unfortunately, you do not longer need to... Ah, yes. I should dispatch a unit of cavalry. A Lancer then. Lancer will reach? No. Cuirassier will certainly not reach. I'll send the Covenant Dragoons out and see about forcing him out of our port. We'll replenish the few men we lost, and then we'll... Oh, you know what? I would like to land the spy there, but I'm gonna land him... Actually, I should wait to land him through there. No, I'll just... What do you mean going there? Go ahead and land him. Right, so we'll land him there, and we'll check out what the pirate's strength actually is. Once that's done, we'll attack them. So it's actually the bigger island that they hold, although it only holds Plantation, the actual town, with structures and so on, and probably dug wells and all that. It's on this side. So slowly the pirates will die on the... I was about to say desolate island, but it's not desolate island. But they're in the bad part of the island. Clearly, everyone knows you don't go to the southern tip of that Bahamas island, whatever it's called. Back here, I could sally forth and kill this one, but I think it's better for us to, since we lost so many men, just to sit back, hunker down, and wait for them to attack us. Be dug in there for a bit. We're going to recruit a new elephant unit and send that to work. One thing that I did notice here is that raiding trade seems to be doing very little. Actually, we'll do that. So now I'm not raiding trade, so 3,000. We have quite a few ships raiding this trade line here. It only adds 333. So I think it's... ooh, okay, so we get a lot more money up here. It might be better to just block their port and deny them the money and slowly drain them than to do it the other way. A lot of devastation here, but seemingly no enemy armies or Marhathan armies as well. Let's go ahead and see that if the Marhathan's about to take that. And I want to see, got very little here. Good chance of infiltration. Go ahead and see what they've got going on there. I don't want the Marhathans taking too much, because eventually we'll turn against them as we divide and conquer India. I don't know who I learned that from. Anyways, I think that's it. So, in between episodes, there will... I didn't really know what there will... There might not be a lot, because I'm expecting an attack by Daoud Abdullah to attack us here. So there might not be that much of a jump in between. And then also there's potentially a battle there as well. So there might not be a big jump as previously. Once that's done, hopefully the Irish have turned up and the New line infantry units have turned up. So we can start marching further inland. The next targets is Nagpur and the enemy's capital region, which is a victory province. Oh, this is actually a victory province? Or is this? Oh, this Marhathan area is actually is something that I need to capture eventually, apparently. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Anyways, it's high time to end the episode. There's nothing more to be said. So, I'll be saying, like I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.